Stop overthinking your form. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Today I wanted to talk about one of the most common questions I see you guys asking me, whether that be in Instagram DM or in person. Oftentimes, powerlifters are always overthinking their lifting. A lot of lifters are always trying to make small tweaks or adjustments to their lifting. And I get that, you know, like we should all want to make improvements to our lifting. We should always want to be able to find what's most quote unquote optimal for us. We want to lift the most weight at the end of the day because that's what we're here to do, right? I think the problem comes in is when people take this to the far extreme and they just start overthinking everything about their lifting. Because I know it's a joke and it's a meme, but like what we are doing is essentially just lifting barbells here, you know what I mean? Like when you really simplify it down to the bare bones of things, we're just lifting weights, that's really it. For different body types and for different lifts, whether they be different styles, wide stance, narrow stance, sumo, conventional, flat back, close grip, big arch, wide grip. With these styles of lifting, there's basic cues that are gonna work. You should use those cues in order to find out what works best for you and your lifting. But outside of that, like you don't really need to overcomplicate things. You just need to find what works for you and just stick with it. A lot of these cues for the big three lifts, if you're a beginner to the sport, you will be able to find on my new app coming out, which I plan to talk to you guys eventually more about, but I'm still flushing out the final stages of it now. I wanna make sure this app has everything you guys need to be successful in the sport of powerlifting. With all the stuff on the app and the exercises that I have in there, and just everything about it, I'm trying to put my brain into you guys. All the things that have taken me years to learn in the sport, I try to condense it down into videos that are very understandable and watchable for you guys, so that you guys can get essentially what I had to learn over the past 3 years into this one video library right here. But I'm getting off track. If your form is solid and it doesn't really need to be reworked, just stick with it and stop changing it. Maybe it's not like 100% optimal, maybe like there's like one small twinge that like is either due to their leverages or just the way that they're built or just their motor pathways from years of lifting that they can't necessarily undo, that they're just gonna kind of have no matter what. Whenever they get to top end weight, they're gonna struggle no matter what. Like for example, I can make as much changes to my deadlift as possible, but sometimes when I get to maximal load, lockout is still gonna be the most difficult part of the lift. Due to the way I'm built or just the way I pull, you know, that's just kind of the boat that I'm in, and it's just best for me to stick with what I'm doing. I see people trying to constantly change their lifts and then they go about their training and they think it's the best thing ever, and then the next week they come in and they try to do the exact same thing and they go, oh, I need to change it, I need to change it. What you're doing is you're just spinning your wheels in the same place. Imagine a truck stuck in a lake full of mud and it's stepping on the gas and it's trying to get out of there, but it's just spinning his wheels and it's in place. Powerlifting is all about specificity, and if you're not doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, you're not gonna get good at the lifts, which is why practicing the big three lifts, hammering exactly what you're gonna do in a competition setting is what's most important and what's gonna get you good at the sport. So like I said, if you're constantly changing your lifts and you're constantly reworking or doing different things with your body and trying to push forward, it's just not going to happen, because your body has to learn how to do that one exact thing and do it over and over and over again and get stronger at that. Essentially, if you're changing your technique and you're changing your cues and you're overthinking your lifting every 5 seconds, it's like your body's going to be trying to constantly learn something new rather than being able to focus on your form and getting stronger with that form. Hey, this is not a video saying working on your technique is overrated or that you shouldn't work on your technique. Obviously you should, but what I'm saying is to the point where if you become neurotic over your form and that it's stopping you from moving forward, if there's like a mental block that's stopping you from moving forward with this one technique change or why I do this one thing on one lift, and you're using that as an excuse to stop you from actually just getting stronger, you're essentially missing the trees for the woods, or whatever they say. Find what works for you and just stick with it and just keep going. This is a stupid hypothetical scenario, but let's say your form is 95% optimal and you just keep working with it and you just slowly escalate like this. Now take you in a parallel universe and be constantly trying to change your form in order to account for that extra 5% that you may or may not get by making that big change, but it's just all experimentation, and you need to constantly figure out if it works better, or if it just feels different and it's not actually more advantageous to you. Maybe those muscles are just more fresh since you weren't using them with your previous form, and you're constantly going like this. You know, let's say you make one change, okay, it's good. Maybe you change something else, oh, now I'm fucked. The two lifters, that one's gonna be going like this, and then this other person is making all these changes and can't really project where they're gonna go. You're gonna be better off in the long run just sticking with what you know works and then just going with that. And if you want to take this sport seriously eventually, find a coach. Your coach is going to be the person who's going to give you those basic cues or tell you what you need to do in order to be able to stick with that and just get stronger. I send my videos to my coach, and if he says there's nothing wrong with it, or if he doesn't say anything about it, I assume it's good and I just keep it pushing. I'm not always constantly watching back my stuff to see what can I change for next week to possibly fix one thing or get a little bit more out of my lifting, when I know what works for me and I know what I need to do in order to get stronger, so I'm just gonna do it. That's essentially all I wanted to say for this video. Like I said, I do have my app coming out. The app is gonna have a 12-week training program with a peak and taper block at the end, so you can run this program going into a meet, as well as specific bodybuilding exercises for different parts of your body if you want to target something different on a certain day. And then on top of that, you're going to have full access to the entire video library. I have at least 12 video topics that you guys are going to be able to dive in and just absorb all of the knowledge that took me so many years to learn, but it's all going to be here compartmentalized on that app. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Thank you for listening to my rant. This was something that was on my mind for a while now, and I know a lot of people struggle with it because you guys ask me all the time. Let me know if you guys want me to cover any other video topics in the comments below, or you guys can DM me whatever you guys would like. So just give me topics and I'll start covering stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.